the phases of this innings, and I'll continue this chat with Kartik. Now, there are two aspects here. One is that top right, 1 to 10, 28 for 1. You've lost KL Rahul early, but Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma at the crease, and India managed to go at just 2 points. Chris Woakes was excellent with the new ball. And then towards the end as well, that we've established. Let's go to the end phase and finish this discussion at the end, and then go to the top phase, Kartik. And what Dan says is he expects a little more intent. Do you sympathize to some degree that while on paper there were 5 wickets in hand, those weren't necessarily wickets that ooze a lot of confidence in Dhoni and Kedar Jadhav?
Yeah, but that's accepted. And as Dan mentioned, anyways you're going to lose, but at least go down fighting.
Yeah.
It was not a question of nerdling. It's not a question of getting a not out there, or the fact that there are 4 more batsmen who are not so adept at batting. But it was just a question of the intent. It's a question of trying to hit balls rather than trying to nerdle balls. Because at the end of the day, whether you nerdle, you're anyways going to lose. At least go down fighting. I don't think they would have won. I'm not saying that you can't blame them for the loss, because of the fact that there were quite a few other things which went against India. You can say the extra 65 runs or the extra 40 runs. And I said this, I said extra. Possibly they might have thought that they were 30 runs short the way they had a start. But for India, possibly 30, 40 runs extra. It was the way we started. Possibly could they have shown more intent there? Again, in one-day cricket, in any form of the game, if you allow a bowler to continuously bowl, he's going to bowl.
Yeah.
You have to show some intent, you have to change a few things, especially if you're chasing a big target. If you're not chasing a big target, then you can take it easy and possibly sit on it. But the thing is that the intent is what you're going to question, nothing else.
All right. What about the first 10 then? Because you have India's 2 best batsmen at that point. Once KL Rahul's gone, was it just supreme bowling from Chris Woakes, or would you have liked to see India get more than 2.8 and over?
I think Woakes bowled exceptionally well, and I think Archer bowled well as well. He was unlucky not to have Rohit Sharma out early. Look, I think it was a nervous start in terms of as soon as KL Rahul got out, it felt like Rohit and Virat thought, we've got to do this. No one else is going to do it, so let's make sure we get through this tough part at the start. We'll get ourselves in and we'll go, which they eventually did, and they played exceptionally well. But that's what happens in big games when the expectations on those 2 batsmen to play such a big part in winning the game, and I think they put that pressure on themselves. They just wanted to get through those stages, and they did, and they built it, but they needed both of them to score hundreds to give them any chance, and that's really hard to do consistently.
Okay, what do India take away now from this? They've had 1 game of Rishabh Pant at 4, where he's in a sort of has to go at a difficult chase, and he's managed a 30. Does that? I don't think that solves any more questions that we had even before this game. But what are the takeaways for India now going into their last 2 games against Bangladesh and Sri Lanka?
Again, the middle overs, and I would just, again, you spoke about England trying to play this attacking brand of cricket all through on any kind of surface. Sometimes India also has to think about the middle overs. If you're not trying to get wickets, when you're trying to get wickets and somebody's having a go, possibly have plan B or plan C as spin bowlers. I think that's something which they would have to look at, because 20 overs went for plenty today. I think close to 165 runs or something like that. So that is a lot of runs from 2 strike bowlers. You can't have that. That's, somewhere down the line in big games, that is going to affect if you're not getting wickets. That is something they have to look at. And again, I would say that opening has to be strong, which has not been there. In bigger games against big teams, you want a solid start like what they gave you, what Jason Roy and Johnny Bairstow gave you, and we've not had that post Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma. We've had starts. We did start well against Pakistan, but they've not continued. Again, it puts too much pressure on Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli is a superman, but he can't carry the entire team on himself every time.